Our pilgrimage in Rome will take us to the Catacombs of St Sebastian. So let's start off with St Sebastian, then we'll get to the catacombs. St Sebastian was a member of the Roman military, and after converting to Christianity, left the military. And once he was discovered as being a Christian, he was ultimately arrested, and then the martyrdom that was given to him was being shot by arrows. So he was tied to a tree, archers shot arrows at him, and he was left for dead. However, he didn't die. In fact, some good faithful Christians took him to their home. They nursed him back to health. And St. Sebastian, with great zeal for martyrdom, went back to the emperor and claimed to have healed and restored to life through the generosity and the love of Christians. And the emperor then had him ultimately beheaded. He was buried in what is known as the catacombs, and the particular area of catacombs now hails his name, the Catacombs of St Sebastian. So the catacombs were underground places of burial, and they came into existence because Christians believe in the resurrection of the body. We believe that at the end of time, when Christ comes again in glory, our bodies will rise from the dead, and we will be reunited with our bodies, just as the Blessed Virgin Mary was assumed body and soul into heaven. Just as our Lord's body left this earth, we believe that our bodies one day will be in heaven with our Lord for all eternity. This being the case, Christians had the tradition, different than the Romans, of full body burial. We wanted to be buried just like our Lord was. Our Lord was buried in the ground, so we wanted to be buried in the ground. However, in Rome, the custom was cremation. Christians, to distinguish themselves, began doing full body burial, but Christianity was illegal. So because of this, they had to bury their dead in secret. And the way that they began to do this was by digging underground and creating what are now known as the catacombs. There are hundreds of miles of underground caverns. There are 40 different sections, so 40 different entryways into these catacombs that are spread throughout the city. They are not all connected, so they're referred to as 40 different catacombs, and each of them in total has a burial locations of over 6 million bodies. 6 million bodies that were buried within the catacombs. The catacombs then, of course, also became a place of tremendous prayer. The catacombs, people would go and visit their deceased, masses would be said, prayers would be said, but they also, very importantly, during this time when Christianity was illegal and was persecuted, they also became a place of great culture. It was in the catacombs that Christians, for the very first time, were able to express themselves through art. So the earliest Christian art is found in the catacombs. Frescoes and paintings upon the walls depict the early Christians' belief in our Lord Jesus Christ. It shows images of the Good Shepherd, images of Christians at prayer, images of Christians being persecuted, images of Old Testament stories which point to the fullness of truth found in Jesus Christ. And so these catacombs, these underground places of burial, these underground cemeteries became places of great importance in our Christian faith. We will have the opportunity to visit the Catacomb of St Sebastian, where he himself was buried and where his remains are still today, and the opportunity to pray in these ancient places of prayer, devotion, and most importantly, in a very true sense, of art and history.